For the post request, when you are creating a new booking, at the time we have the body payload, and also once we send a request, if the request is successful like 200, then we'll get this type of response, which is JSON data. Now we also need to verify that information also. So for that case, we just need to convert this thing to a class thing. That means we need to deserialize from JSON data to class data, right? So let's see how we can do this thing. At first we need to create a class for this response, and then only we can do this thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this thing first, and then I'm going to jump to the Eclipse IDE, and I'm going to create another new class, file, new, and then this class should be this one. This will be the class, and then I'm going to type the name of the class like this. So right now it is called booking ID, right? So there is couple of classes already. So to make the class unique, I'm going to use this name, booking ID, the class name. So I'm going to type it, booking ID. So I'm going to remove the B, I'm making it capital, and ID capital, so that it will be easy to understand. Booking ID, and then there will be no checkbox over here. And then after that, I'm going to press the finish button, and very shortly it will create this type of booking ID. Now we need to create this thing, which is called this data, right? So here, if you check carefully, this section of data we already have. I mean, not data, basically we have this type of configuration class we already made before, right? So here, if you check carefully, so this data, first name, last name, total price, like this, this is booking, right? The booking data, like when we created the request, I mean, when we create the request, at that time we need to send this type of data, right? And this data and this part data is same, and this data we already have a class, right? Here we have a class which is called this one, booking.java, and here we have all the data, I mean all the field. So we can reuse this class. And also the other thing is that here there is two things actually. So here booking ID is on field, and inside this there is another field. This field is actually a JSON data, right? So we have to design our class like based on these two field, and we'll use like that way. So let's do that thing. So I'm going to copy the entire response so that it is easy to understand. Then I'm going to remove it later. So this is the booking ID, right? So here at first I'm going to paste those value, and I'm going to make the comment so that there will be no error. So I commented this thing, there is no error. Now at first we need this thing, and this is an integer value, right? So we can make this thing like private integer, then the name of the field like this. Okay, and the next field is booking, right? So we can copy this thing and make the field private, and this is class type is booking class, right? So I'm going to use booking BOOKING. This is the booking class, and the name of the field is like this. Okay, so now we are done, and we can remove this part, we don't need it anymore. Okay, so now we need to generate the getter and setter for this case. So I'm going to right click, and then we have to use the source, and from here we have to use generate getter and setter, and we have to check which one we need to generate getter and setter and where it will be generated. I'm choosing after booking, and then we have to press the generate button, and very shortly it will be like that. Now we can format this code from source, and we can use there is format section, format, and the code will be formatted, and now it's looking nice. I'm going to save it. Okay, so the POJO class for response is already prepared now. Now let's check how we can use this thing. So I'm going to jump to that API testing, this Java class, and here we are getting this thing, right? Response. Inside the response we are getting this thing, right? So here we need to modify something, so I'm going to show you one by one now. Now we need to modify this part basically, because we need to deserialize. But here I'm going to do one thing. Instead of modifying this code, I'm making a copy of this code, API testing, this one. Right click, and then I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to make it over here, copy, and then I'm going to paste it over here with the name API testing 2. Okay, so here actually I will start working with here. It's because I need to modify some other things also. That's why I'm going to show you one by one. So this is the tourist as a string, right? So we cannot use this thing anymore. So I'm going to go to the next line, and here instead of as a string we have to use the class, right? So this is the class booking ID, right? So where is the class? So this is the class booking ID. So I'm going to comment it this line, and then I'm going to do one thing, dot as, then we have to put the class name booking, and here is the booking ID class, and then dot class. And now we'll get a lot of error, I know. So here there is a lot of error. So what is the error? So if we move our cursor over there, it will show you the reason. Type mismatch, cannot convert from booking ID to string. So basically here we defined it string, so that's why it is complaining. So we have to change the class type, so it will be, I mean data type, so this will be booking ID. So BOOKING booking ID, this class. Okay, now this part is done, but we'll get some other error also now. So previously we used this as string data type, right? Now we cannot use it anymore. So this is like class type right now, right? Booking ID, the class type data, right? So we have to change some of the information like this. So before that, I'm going to format this code a little bit so that it is easy to understand. So here booking response, I'm going to choose this thing like this given, and then after that log all, then dot header. I'm just doing a little bit format so that it is easy to understand. So this is when block, and post is fine, and then block. So this is then block, and here log is fine, log dot all, then assert that is fine, status code is fine, body this thing, header, then this thing header server, this one equal this one, and extract, then response, and finally this thing we commented already, we don't need it anymore. We can remove it, but I just kept it. And here now we need to change something. So here we used JSON path previously to find those responses, but we don't need it anymore. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this portion, and I'm going to modify those block. So response body plus response. So here the response will be printed. We can remove this thing, but keep it. Now here we verified this one, not verified, basically previously when you run this thing, it is giving me this output, right? Booking ID this one, total price this one. So now if we want to like print those things, we have to modify this thing. So we can remove the entire thing, or we can make it comment so that you can understand easily. So here I just commented this line, and booking ID, right? Instead of booking ID, we have to write it different way. So here what is the name of the booking ID? This is the response, right? So we can mention like this way, response dot, and here we have to find the booking ID, right? So we have booking get booking ID, right? So we have to use this method, and then it will give us the booking ID for that. And the total price, here also we use JSON path, we don't need to use that anymore. Okay, so I'm going to comment this line too, and here total price is like this. So we need to remove this thing, total price. Instead of that, I'm going to use the object which is response. Here is the response, response dot, then get booking. So this is the booking, right? Get booking, and then dot, and then get total price, this one. So we'll get the total price like this way. And also auth token, we didn't do anything, we don't need to care about this thing right now, authentication. And here there is another JSON path, we also don't need this thing, cookie formatted value, cookie this thing. Okay, so updating part, there will be some problem. So for the time being, I'm going to comment everything from till delete. Okay, so I just commented. Let me check whether the add part is working properly or not, and then we can understand. So this is the part we modified. I'm going to press the save button, Control S key, and then I'm going to run this application, or I mean run this testing to check whether it is working properly or not. So I just press this run button, and very shortly it is giving this type of message. That means it is working fine. And here it is showing this is the 7.2, this is the when we actually created this thing, we created when we executed this program, then it is giving this type of JSON output first, which is the body payload, and after the body payload, when you are trying to insert, after the insert, it is giving this type of output, right? So here first name, this everything is fine. Booking ID is 732, so here the booking ID is fine, and total price, let me check also, total 7,000, it is 7,000. So here inside the then block, basically we can remove some code, like for example here I don't need, I'm going to remove the body. Here assert code, we can also remove this thing because we can process those later, right? So log all, assert that, status course, exit at this one. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the value here. So here instead of 7,000, I'm going to put on other value like 100, and then few underscore one and steps underscore one. So let me check whether this is inserting or not. So just run it, and if everything is fine, then we'll get this type of output. That means it's working properly. So here total price is 100, we're getting like that, and also some other things. And in this way we can easily deserialize the output, and we can check whether the values are coming or not properly, and later we can verify later using some testing framework. Okay, we can do this thing.